Welcome to part two. In the first part, we logged into the CapsNAS server and downloaded some audio and imported it into Pro Tools and set up our session. Now what we want to do is take this one single audio file. You can only see part of it. Let me zoom out here. I'm going to click on this left arrow, horizontal zoom. We can see that we got a lot of audio. If I look up here in the timeline, it goes until about 5 minutes. So we want to split that apart. There's music and sound effects and all kinds of things in there. I'm using the Smart tool. So if you look at, here's the trim tool, the selector tool, the grabber tool, and this bar that goes across is the Smart tool, which means if I hover over the top of the audio clip, then I have the selector tool. If I hover at the bottom, I have the grabber tool, and if I hover over at the ends, I have the trim tool. And then if I do some corner work, I can create fades and things like that. So let's start splitting this apart. I want to go to the selector tool, select right here. This is the end of our narration, and now the music starts. So I'm going to go to Edit and go to Separate Clip at Selection. And we see that the shortcut is Command E. So for next time, I'm just going to do Command E. But I'll click that, and hey, look, it's selected. What allows me to just move the audio anywhere I want like this, back and forth in the time, is that I'm in slip mode up here. If I'm in one of these different modes, it may not let me do that. So if I want to be able to move back and forth like this easily, slip mode is the way to go. So now I have narration, now I have music, and everything else. Let's play a little bit of this to see what we have. Pretty spooky. So I'm going to create some more tracks here, and then I can start moving that music and audio or sound effects down. So I'll go to Track, New, and these are all mono files. It's only one channel. And I'm just going to create 6 of them. So I type 6 there, and these are audio tracks. There are different kinds, but we are working with audio. Got mono, so I hit create. Whoa, look at that. I have my original track and then a whole bunch more. And something I want to do is, to stay organized, is name these tracks. Because once I give it a name, so this is going to be like narration. Once I name these tracks, if I do any more recording, the recordings will have the names of whatever track I'm recording into. So I want to stay organized that way with my audio files. So on audio 1, I double click on the name, and I'm just going to say music. Hit OK. Audio 2, I'll probably want to put some wind there. So I'll put wind, and we can do more as we go along. While we're thinking about doing tracks, I want to have a master fader. That's a really important thing to have here. So I'm going to go back to Track, New, and master faders have to be stereo. So I make it stereo and go to Master there and hit Create. And what that does is it takes all the audio from all these other tracks and aggregates it. It combines it together, mixes it together into this. And now by dragging this line up and down, I can control the volume of my entire project. I'll leave it where it was to begin with, right around 0 decibels. Okay, so now I go back up here. I have the master, and I'm going to drag that all the way to the bottom. I just click on the name and pull it down. I click and drag, and I can rearrange these as I want to. To make the tracks smaller so they're not in my way, I might go mini. And by doing that, I just click on the ruler right here, this ruler, and then I can select what size do I want. I go mini. This one doesn't have anything in it yet, so mini. And now I can see audio 3 will go mini. So I can see the narration, the music, wind, and then these other tracks, and then the master track. And if I want to make them bigger again, I just click on the ruler and make it back to medium, or whatever size I want. So I take this music track and I drag it down. At this point, I'm going to want to start working on timing to line up the narration with the music. So let me get the narration figured out just the way that I want it, so that I can set up some markers and start setting up the music and sound effects, because I want to trim a little bit off the beginning and definitely trim some off at the end here. But that will be our next video.